slow-moving traffic. So just allow for your traveling time, please. It's the second update.
Thank you. The cable was broken a little bit. Had to touch it and put it right. Thank you very much, Superintendent Rove. Catch up in a bit.
I did my good deed for the morning. While I was talking to you,
Yeah.
there was a guy with a wheelchair.
Yeah.
He needed to go up a ramp. So while I was talking, I was pushing him up the ramp.
Oh, is that why you were sounding a little bit tired?
Yeah,
Eh?
it's quite a long ramp.
Right. You took him up and off ramp, did you?
I ran him up, so you better put your brakes on and get to the top.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you very much, Sue. Well done to you. And we'll catch up with you in about 20 minutes.
Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikum salam.
So we've got this interview coming up in just a moment, live on YouTube, live on Facebook now as well. Salaam alaikum if you just joined us on the visual platforms. Good to have you with us. CEO of Naptosa, Tharona Mudley, joining us after these messages.
This traffic update is brought to you by Audi Centre Newcastle, a member of the Docrat Group. Discover luxury, elegance and sophistication in a brand new Audi. Get hyped to explore the city and rule the road with Audi Centre Newcastle. Contact us today on 034 370 8700 to get a quote. We don't only deliver nationwide, but right to your door. Audi Centre Newcastle, a member of the Docrat Group.
The Breakfast Rush, brought to you courtesy of the Willow Tin Group, at the forefront of innovation, and one of the leading competitors in the South African FMCG market.
There's nothing quite like the taste of a traditional family meal, and at the heart of every great dish is a key ingredient that brings it all together. That ingredient is Sunfoil pure sunflower cooking oil, made from only the finest sunflower seeds. It's a perfect way to enhance the taste of your family's favorite foods. Sunfoil cooking oil is more than just oil. It's the key to bring your family together over a delicious meal and making every bite taste better. Remember, the key ingredient to a great family meal is sunfoil. Tradition just tastes better.
The views and opinions expressed by the guest and presenters of Radio Al Ansar are not necessarily the views and opinions of Radio Al Ansar and the Al Ansar Foundation.
As heavy snow and bitter winds descend on Gaza, Afghanistan, and Lebanon, hundreds of displaced and refugee families struggle to survive the winter. Without adequate shelter or clothing, the harsh weather threatens lives. Donate towards AMA's Winter Rescue campaign to provide the food, fuel, and shelter needed by families in Gaza, Lebanon, and Afghanistan to survive the elements and provide warmth to those in need.
This Ramadan, stock up at Chicken World, located at 168 Kenilworth Road, Overport. Tana approved. We are bringing you unbeatable pre-Ramadan specials. Get chicken mince for 49.99 a kilo and fresh chicken fillets for the unbeatable price of 59.99 a kilo. Don't miss out. Open 7 days a week. Contact us on 031 207 6339.
The Breakfast Rush, brought to you courtesy of the Willow Tin Group, at the forefront of innovation, and one of the leading competitors in the South African FMCG market.
TBR says 90.4 FM in Durban, 105.6 FM in Pietermaritzburg, live on YouTube, live on Facebook, and of course, all inside your radios, inside your cars, wherever you may be listening right now. Concerns loom over the readiness of the education system to provide a seamless start to teaching and learning. The National Professional Teachers Organization of South Africa says the Education Department ended 2024 with numerous unresolved issues that continue to affect schools across the province. So joining us this morning on the program is the Chief Executive Officer of Naptosa, Tharona Mudley. Good morning and welcome to Radio Al Ansar's Breakfast Rush.
Hi, good morning, Nishal. Good morning to the listeners too. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for taking the time off this morning to be with us. Now, schools officially reopened yesterday. Were there many incidents reported?
Well, it's too early to tell. We haven't actually received any direct complaints regarding the opening of schools. The first day of school is usually about finalizing registrations, allocating learners to classes, and finalizing the timetables. So that is all within the purview of the schools, which I do believe that they would have finalized last year. For NAPTOSA, the bigger concern is what's going to happen in the long term, in that, as I said previously, the schools had not received their financial allocations for 2024. These are schools that manage their own finances and are responsible for procuring textbooks and learning material. So that for us is a major concern. And secondly, the major concern, which will unfold over the following few weeks, is that the staffing of schools have not been finalized for 2025.
NAPTOSA has raised concerns about funding and resource allocation. Can you expand on this?
As I said, the schools have not received, every year, some schools that are Section 21C schools, they manage their own finances, and they get an undertaking or a letter from the department saying, this is your allocation for the year, which means these schools budget around this allocation for payment of municipal bills, purchasing of learner-teacher support material, and other things that they require. So this has not happened because the department claims to be under huge financial limitations. So we actually are concerned that because of that, schools were not able to make orders for stationery and make orders for workbooks and textbooks because they didn't have the funds to pay for it. So many publishers have refused to take these orders because they are not willing to wait to be paid, and rightly so. So these schools are obviously starting on a back foot this year. Schools that may have had surpluses are in a better off position. Schools that charge fees will be in a better position, but not necessarily so. So that is majorly our concern.
So KwaZulu-Natal failed to meet funding targets for 2024 to 2026. What are the implications for that?
Just to explain what that means, it's that at the national level, each learner, there is a norm allocated to each learner and what that should be. Unfortunately, I don't have those figures in front of me right now. But just to understand the principle is that there are 5 quintiles that we have. Quintiles 1, 2, and 3 are no fee-paying schools. 4 and 5 are fee-paying schools. So per quintile, the lower quintiles are those really disadvantaged schools in the rural areas. They get a higher percentage from the department, allocation per learner. So the national norms are set at a particular level, saying that this is what, as a province, you should be paying per learner in each quintile. KZN has always paid below that. KZN has never paid what the national norm recommends because it's a recommendation. But obviously, this recommendation is based on best practice. It's based on what's in the interest of the learner and teaching and learning. But this province has never, in its history, been able to pay what the national norms recommend.
Is the Department of Education misleading the public regarding its readiness for the 2025 academic year?
I wouldn't want to say that. I wouldn't believe that it's completely truthful because we do know that the staffing of schools is not finalized. And having said that, so how is teaching and learning going to happen in some schools? The department was very late last year. Only very late in November did they send to schools what their PPNs are, which is their staff establishments. And then there were a whole lot of schools that contested this, which means that the department has not yet got back to them and said, look, this is your revised post-establishment, or it's staying, the status quo remains. So I don't understand how they could be 99% ready or have, or 100% ready if we know as Labour that the staffing of schools has not been completed in some schools. So we're not saying in all schools. Some schools have just carried on seamlessly yesterday, functioning well, and those are the fortunate schools. But many of the schools don't know what their staff establishment is going to be.
As a final question for this morning, what recommendations does NAPTOSA have to address the funding shortfall and ensure that schools receive the necessary resources?
Well, we have already engaged at a national level because the underfunding of the Department of Education is not unique to KZN. Many provinces are struggling with financial cuts, budget cuts over a number of years now. So at a national level, we have engaged with the Minister of Finance. through FEDUSA, which NAPTOSA belongs to FEDUSA as a body. We have engaged with even the president, indicating the struggles of education. So we will continue to engage on that level, and NAPTOSA will continue in this province to hold the department accountable, because they need to fulfill their constitutional mandate in providing quality basic education, and NAPTOSA will constantly be the watchdog over that process and that responsibility of the Department of Education.
Absolutely. Looking forward to catching up with you in the not too distant future, just to get a recap and further information for our listeners. We thank you for your time this morning and wish you and your team all success in your endeavors.
Thank you so much for having me.
That was Tharona Mudley, the Chief Executive Officer of NAPTOSA, just giving us a little bit of an indication of what's going on at the beginning of the school year. Day number 2 it is. And, well, here we are at 7:22 this morning. It's your breakfast rush that you're locked into. To those folks that have been watching the videos, thank you very much for doing so. Remember, when you're watching the video, whether it's on Facebook, whether it's on YouTube, you could always click that share button down there. Always. We'll catch up with you very, very soon. Hadra Habib says, very important info. Thank you, Alan Sar. You are most welcome. We'll be back with the best from Verticom after this.
The Breakfast Rush, brought to you courtesy of the Willow